it.
Luke and I have been having sex since the honeymoon. And it's awkward. Luke asked me not to tell anyone.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. We're here giving you the Married at First Sight, baby, review. You already know what time it is. You ain't got the minerals, baby. You ain't got the minerals. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lead? Are you ready to rumble? Okay, that sounded better in my head. But anyway, listen, don't get it twisted. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Listen, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We are giving you the lowdown on the Married at First Sight review. Yes, guys, it's coming a little bit later than usual now. And that's because in UK, it comes one day after. And then by the time my work schedule is, there's no way I'm releasing a video for you guys in between that time. So it has to wait till the weekend. So no worries. Guys, love, share, subscribe. You know what time it is. You ain't got the minerals, baby. You ain't got the minerals. Are you get? Let's get into this. Boom. We're here talking to you about Kate and Luke. This time round, I mean, it is crazy. Yeah. I don't know. I plan to leave this for. I don't know. Fam, I was confused before. I think I'm even more confused now. Now, actually, you know what? I'm not. I'm now officially gonna label this behavior as narcissistic from Luke. Now, beforehand, you know me, I didn't want to label him too tough. I wanted to give him a chance. But what I'm seeing is narcissistic behavior, okay? Where we are intentionally creating a certain narrative so that Kate will react in a certain way so he can get his way. But we're going to get into that. Let's get into the video. Okay, let me just give you a little bit of explanation. I want to research narcissistic behavior. And obviously, I mentioned in one of my videos about push and pull. And that when you push and pull, basically you treat him nice, treat him naughty. Do you know what I mean? Treat him nice, treat him naughty. It's almost like the good cop, bad cop. You be nice for a little bit, and then you destabilize them by creating a problem about something. So let's say, like, you know, we went out for dinner. It was a nice dinner. We get home and I tell you, listen, why did you say what you just said? What the hell did it? And I create an argument, and what happens? You're destabilized, and I do that consistently so that you're never fully able to stand. Because every time you're about to stand and be happy, I take the rug from your feet again. And so what happens? And eventually, it creates a cycle in the person's mind that, do you know what? I need to do everything I can to make sure that he doesn't flip. And then actually, what happens is you actually start to blame yourself. And Kate does this. You know, there was a time, I think it was at the very end, yeah.
It is a metaphor.
Yeah.
For our relationship.
The waterfall?
Yeah. It's fluid, changing. I think we do both go with the flow a lot, though, which is really good.
Yeah. I like that you're just like super relaxed most of the time.
I know. I felt bad, though.
About what?
When we first, met, it wasn't like real me, kind of.
Well, it wasn't real me either, because
I
it
know.
wasn't real you, and then it was hard, but...
Yeah. I like real you better than fake you.
I was never fake me, it just
Well,
wasn't
whatever.
me.
Guarded you, I would say.
I think we've all struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't even think that we would get to this point. Having a good time and happy and laughing again. Luke just seems like a completely different person, and that makes me happy. I just want it to last like forever. But there's still one major issue that's in the back of my mind.
Do you have anything you're holding on to?
I'm worried that Luke is going to be upset that I told Dr. Pepper about our sex life. I do have a fear that it could...
We all knew Luke was moving mad. But he's trying to blame it on her. Okay, you want to gaslight the situation by, flipping it onto her. Okay, cool. And then he says, obviously, you know what? And then she says, oh, you know what? I guess it's like both of us were kind of like... No, it wasn't both of us. Kate, you never did anything. It was just him. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's getting your mind to think that it's you. Why? Because he creates the problem in your head. That's why he started doing about the whole, oh, you know how it gets when you're drinking. I don't like the drinking when you drink. What? Bruv, you're the one that drinks as well. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, you drink excessively as well. Like, where you going? Do you know what I'm saying? So I started looking and I was like, right, I need to go back through these videos and start going through man's actual behaviour. The staring that he does. It's unhinging. He stares at you to unhinge you to get, and Kate asks us several times, what? And he's like, he won't explain. Why? Because when you try to ask a person, I think it's MPD. I think I can't remember what it's called. So basically, what happens is somebody who's got MPD, basically, yeah, something narcissistic, something whatever. Whenever they got this behaviour, what happens is it's more than likely stemmed from when they were younger. They've received this type of treatment. So a parent or a loved one has never allowed them to be stable in terms of their affection towards them. And so what happens is when they grow up to be manipulative as well. So what they have, they reconstruct that same behaviour in how they deal with you. And so what you see is, yeah, with the situation, you see that situation with Luke and Kate. You see that when Kate says about the sex issue, I'm not even going in order of time, but I'm just talking about it. When they talk about the sex issue, yeah, she said obviously they have sex and then he leaves.
Anyone about our sex life, but Luke and I have had sex probably about 5 or 6 times. And I just got to the point where I couldn't keep it a secret any longer. Luke just gets like very serious after sex and quiet and doesn't want to be around me. Usually like he'll like go into the other room and just not talk to me for 2 hours.
What does that do to Kate? Again, it creates the impression that, oh, there's something wrong with me. Even though she's asked him what's happening, and he said, look, there's nothing. They can never explain what's happening because there's a detachment there. Do you get me? They can't get close to the attachment. They don't want to get too close. Do you understand? Because there's something inside of them that doesn't allow them to be attached to you in that way. So, and as soon as they feel you pulling away, they come back to you again, begging for you and loving you and say, look, I will never do it again. I'm changing my ways. You heard that before. Luke said that before. I'm changing my ways. But why did he react like that when they were going to get a divorce? But then the question begs, why did he tell her to be quiet about the sex issue? Again, it's control. It's power. It's making sure that, listen, you see stays underneath your thumb. It's about making sure, let's see how obedient she can be to me. And so when you see these behavior traits and types, these behavior traits and types, you have to call it out. And this is what concerns me, because we're seeing this here and we're only getting a tidbit of what we see. You're the expert and you're staying saying,
I think sex is supposed to be this dance that everybody knows how to do, you know, just because they're human, and they don't. I think we're so unfair to men in some ways because we think all men are good to go and it's not complex and they probably have no trauma. But, you know, we'd understand if a woman said, oh, I had sex too soon, I felt used, it wasn't right, etc. And, you know, he really needs to trust you enough to tell you what it is and what it means.
I kind of feel bad not telling him that I'm talking to you about this, but I feel like it's very important, and then maybe you can help me figure out how to approach him in saying that I think we need to talk about this with somebody else.
you know, you need to have a conversation with Luke. She's had one already, and he's doing this still. This needs to be called in, and the experts need to actually have a serious question on to Luke as to what's going on. Because he's already done the whole, I kissed her, and then it said, oh, it was revolting. Now it makes sense where your really behaving is coming from. So you kissed her to bring that intimacy for her, and then rejected her again. What happens to the person? They believe it's their fault. They believe it's their fault. You know, and just as they're about to leave and go away about their business, you drag them back in again. You create a whirlwind, a storm of I love you and I care for you. Don't you know I love you? Don't you know I care for you? This was the bedroom scene. Don't you know I care for you? Don't you know I love you? Don't you know this stuff? Like, you know, the things that I like about you. Bro, really? Really? Okay.
Jacket. Make sure I look beautiful.
You look very nice.
Marriage, to me, in this moment, is just really kind of that commitment to the next level, that you're not like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's just kind of having both feet in and being all in.
We may have had some ups and downs, but we're just gonna keep going up from here.
I agree.
Episode 11, they start off with they're in the car and it talks about the promise of being better. Like I said, when someone's narcissistic, this is one of the traits that they say, you know, I won't do it again, I'm gonna be better. I promise. This is someone who's an abuser too. When they beat the person, I promise I won't do it again. I don't know what got into me. I won't happen again. This is what they say. So you need to watch what he's saying. And Kate, if we've kind of had this already, man. Do you know what I mean? But if he does this again, you've got to say, look, how much is enough? And you've got to think about, if you're going to bring kids into the situation, you want them to be in that kind of behavior. Somebody who gets close to you to have a little bit of affection and then distance themselves because they can't be affectionate. You don't want that kind of relationship. Do you get what I'm saying? And then Kate's obviously they're getting close every day, and I was like, Kate, are you really being serious right now? Like they're getting close every day. You mean that? And I thought to myself, okay, let me stop being so hard on Kate. Maybe he's pretending to show that closeness because we see it. Yeah, because when they're getting dressed for the dinner, you know, she's putting on the coat for him, and you know they're talking, and you know there's a bit of a laughter, a bit of joke there, there's a bit of freeness, a bit of banter, bruv. It also makes sense now. You're not having sex, bruv.
Anyone about our sex life, but Luke and I have had sex probably about 5 or 6 times.
Ladies, let me just point this out because Kate's issue is Kate's thing that she's going through right now is a lesson for all of us, men and women. You said about the divorce. He now fixes it up, but you've had years of this behavior. Like, you don't want to continue this, man. Yeah? Like, you don't want to continue this. There's genuine situations where, look, there's miscommunication between both of you. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody who pushes and pulls. Completely different. That is destabilizing. That's got toxic behavior. You know it's toxic. And then you say, listen, we're breaking up. And the person says, no, sorry, listen. But no, they're not changing. In fact, they need you to leave so they can implement change in their life. Maybe until you've left, they will begin to change. But so long as you're there, they're going to use you as a crutch as to why they're going to behave the way they're behaving. It's time to leave, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to bounce. That's what it looked like. Do you know what I'm saying? When she did that little turn and look, and I was like, fam, what's going on, cuz? Is she okay? Like, but am I looking too deeply into it? Let me know. Let us know down below. Comment, like, share, my G. Let them know, innit? Alright, cool. She spoke to obviously the expert at this point and said obviously about the fact that, you know what, I need to tell you this thing. Now, the first thing I had to repeat was, I need to tell you this thing. And Luke told me not to tell you. Number one, why was she burning to tell him? That means things probably haven't changed for you, Luke, Kate. But you're telling me things have changed. Things probably haven't changed. That's why you're burning to tell. Because you ain't burning to tell the rest of the group. You're burning to tell the expert. Why? Because something's not completely right here. And you know it's not completely right. Number two, he says keep it a secret between us two. And you know that obviously once you tell, you're breaking his trust. Well, if it's that important and you have to break his trust, then maybe this thing is really serious. Do you get what I'm saying? And this needs professional help. Do you understand? So when you're saying it, I can see that you're asking for help. But where are the experts? Where are the mother freaking experts here to get involved in this situation and to save Kate from a life whirlwind of pain, cuz? Because that's all I see as coming. Like, if you just look at her face, man, just look at her body language, closed off. Look how she's hunched in. Like, look at the way she's looking at the camera, holding the camera. It's almost like she was shaking when she looked at the camera.
And then it turns out he didn't want to, and then he just seemed really unhappy about it. And then I just felt terrible, and I feel like that really affected our sexual...
Like, she didn't look comfortable at all. Do you get me? So this situation is not a comfortable one. Obviously, again, like I said, with the whole narcissistic behavior, because obviously he's conditioned her to make her feel like she's a bad one. Now she's going, you know, I don't want to tell you because I know it's really bad, and I'm gonna look bad, and I'm gonna break his trust and everything like that. And again, who's getting the blame? She is. Why are you getting the blame for telling the expert something that needs to be said? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, that's how he's conditioned her to be like. To the point, towards the end, she's even saying, you know what, I can't even feel a little bit scared to even tell him about that I told the expert. Again, the classic telltale signs of abuse. Now, there is obviously situations in a relationship where, yeah, okay, listen, you know when you've done something wrong in your relationship and you don't want to tell your partner because you've done something wrong, we know them ones. But we're talking about situations where this is something that was so toxic, something that needed to be said, got said to one of the experts, and it has to be dealt with.
And I'd like to be useful if I can be.
Luke asked me not to talk about this with the experts, but I can't keep it a secret anymore.
What is it?
I want to say as well, obviously keeping secrets like this as well are never good. I think, you know, and as the expert says, you know, if both of them are keeping a secret, then it's kind of cool because you're both keeping a secret. But when one of you is keeping a secret, this is not cool. This is really not cool. Like, you know, you haven't both agreed on this. One person agreed, another person said, I'll just do what you said I should do. Do you know what I'm saying? And keeping secrets like that, that's what gets you isolated from your family, you see? Because that's how it starts. It's a small progression, little step by step. Oh, you know what? Keep this away. Don't tell anybody that we're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, just trust me. Let me just do this way. And fam, that's how things like this start, and then he says, don't talk to your family, they would never understand this particular thing. And very soon, before you know it, because you want to be loyal to your partner, because you want to show that love and affection to your partner, because you want to back your partner, you know what I'm saying, as a good person as you are, what happens is you see that now you're isolating yourself from friends and from family, and that's how the narcissistic behavior gets really a grip of you, because then you're locked in this complete storm, yeah, where he's putting you up and down, and you got nowhere to turn because he's locked off everybody around you. Luckily, she's still got a friend. But the friend is not strong, so the friend can't tell you, well, go on, bladder. Do you get what I'm saying? It's deep, man.
Winter coat? What?
I'm just saying, when my dad and I backpacked around Europe, we had a backpack.
I don't know what we're doing, so
No, I'm just teasing you.
always teasing me.
In my family, we have the rule of whatever you pack, you have to carry yourself. It's gonna be like 3 days, but she packed so much. I mean, we have like 7.5 days worth of stuff coming with us.
Oh, this is gonna be really heavy. Are you driving? Or do you want me to drive?
Yes, I'm driving.
Okay.
You know that.
Where they were packing up to go to the actual house, and I caught a little bit of tension in there. Yeah, there's a little bit of tension. I think it's because obviously she's really snitched to the expert, and she's probably feeling a certain way. He's also feeling a certain way because I think, like I said, he's narcissistic. So there was a scene where it started off and she was packing her clothes, and he said something about, because he was saying, in our household you take what you can carry, blah blah blah. And then when she's packing her stuff, he's like, something about 7 something or whatever, and she says, you're always joking. But her tone was like, I'm sick and tired of what you're saying. Stop saying these things. And then she's like, are you driving? Yeah, of course I'm driving. And I was like, ooh, I was like, tensions in the air, baby. And I was like, whoa, watching this behavior, everything's not okay. You understand? Everything hasn't been okay. And it's as if like Kate gets a little bit of happiness. And that's why I knew the narcissistic is like, Kate gets a little bit of happiness, holds on to it, and then it gets robbed. And then she's hoping for the next batch of happiness again. She should have gone with a divorce, man, and been strong. Do you get me? And just held it down and said, listen, I'm gone. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't play with me. Do you know what I'm saying? But she hasn't. So, he continues to behave the way he's behaving. When they were on the bridge, he did it again. He did the stare again at her. And I was like, again, she was talking and he did the stare. And I was like, why is he doing that stare again? Again, it's to unhinge you. He can never let you get comfortable. He did the same thing a couple of episodes ago when they were going to the safari park or the zoo or whatever to see the koalas, and he did the same thing to her. He knew she was tired. He knew whatever, and then he latched onto that, and and then started like criticizing her. And even before this trip, he says about the little joke about the toothpaste thing, and it's like the little toothpaste.
You just go right up.
So you're always so prepared, and that's my favorite thing about you.
That's your favorite thing?
I have a lot of favorite things. Organizational skills, ooh. Grabbing the toothpaste by the middle and not rolling it up like a complete sab, like, ooh. You really get it out though.
It's not a joke, bro. Like, you're kind of demeaning there a little bit. I know you're trying to be smart, but you're not. We clocked you. Do you understand? All these little things I'm watching, I'm like, you are a dangerous candidate now, man. Yeah. So that's what I kind of gathered from the whole thing. Obviously, with somebody who's with the push and pull explanation, the person can't risk being vulnerable. So that's probably where this is Luke's behaviors come from. So that's where having the sex and then going away from, because after sex you're meant to feel, when you have sex you feel more vulnerable, you feel closer, you feel intimate with the person. You know what I'm saying? You've allowed that person into your personal space. You have that intimacy after. But for you to run away, again, this is what guys do anyway, but I'm saying in terms of the fact that he's not running away, he's like, leave me alone. Again, it's that intimacy that he can't foster. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why he's saying, do you not believe that, when he said the last episode, do you not believe I'm liking you and falling for you? Do you not believe that obviously we're getting close? Do you not believe that? He cannot do it, bruv. Because if that's not in you, you can't give what you don't have. You understand? And they're often scared of emotional abandonment, so they often abandon you before you can abandon them. That's how they feel. And they create masks and identity that cover up wounds, and they reject their partner getting close to stop them. They reject their partner so the partner can't get close, so that obviously they can continue their feeling of being in power and in control. So what will happen is they'll cancel dates on you. They will ring you a lot one day and then suddenly just ghost on you. You know what I'm saying? So all these things are not trying to foster intimacy. Now, if you're triggered and you're not a narcissistic, maybe it's because you're behaving narcissistically, in that us men do this all the time, where we call a girl for a whole week and then we suddenly ghost. We sex them and then we suddenly ghost. You know what I'm saying? We have sex with them and then we run away on the same day. Why? Because you're proving that you have intimacy problems at that point with that person. Instead of you being honest, letting the person know you're not interested, you don't do it. So if you're triggered by this, men, and I'm talking to men especially, and women as well, then let you know that it's because you have narcissistic traits in you. Sorry to say it, but that's the truth. I've been there, I already know. God had to work on me because there was some narcissistic, manipulative behaviors. And I think even Kate said it in the last episode about Luke, that, you know, he's manipulated certain things to get it out of her. She said it, not her, us. So she even knows. So if you know now, you're in a place of advanced knowledge, you can actually do something about it. I haven't got any more to say. Listen, what do you think about Luke and Kate's situation? Let us know down below. Me personally, as we've been saying for the last few weeks, Kate don't need to be in this relationship. Divorce is, if that's what they're going to do, but shouldn't be in this relationship. Do you get me? We don't want to see this. Yeah, we don't want to see this kind of behavior continue to go on. It's ungodly, man, and it's just setting her up for a death early in life. Do you get me? So guys, love, appreciation, stay blessed, stay locked, stay loaded, appreciate you. The little black book, heaven forever, you wouldn't know what time it is. Like, share, subscribe, and get gay, baby. You ain't gonna